What's up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, dudes and dudettes? Welcome back to another episode of your potentially favorite Nigerian podcast. Be with me, your host, General Prime. It's a new year, so happy new year, everybody. Today is the seventh day of the year. I don't know how everybody's year is going so far. I don't know if you guys are still on your grind with your New Year resolutions, or if you even made any. I advised you at the end of the year. I advised you guys at the end of last year to not make any New Year's resolutions, because let's be real, most people don't. As in, most New resolutions don't last for more than 2 weeks. So, like, just because we are getting a new calendar doesn't mean that everybody will just like automatically become like a new person. I don't know why we've always had this belief that there has to be like New Year has to be the time when people, decide that, yes, I get the logic behind it, but in reality, does it really happen? Does it happen as much as, does it happen enough for us to be able to decide that we are going to make it like a belief system or like a superstition? Do you understand? So I don't know. Today is the 7th day of the month, and there is a lot that has already happened, like in 7 days. Also, the first thing I wanted to say that I'm just like, literally, this is the last like puff of this blunt I'm smoking, because I know I said I wasn't going to like make any New Year's resolution like quite literally a minute ago, but I've decided that I have to stop smoking weed for at least, I don't know, a year. Like, I know it's going to be excruciatingly difficult, but it's something that I've decided to like do, because I don't know why is this suddenly sounding like a New Year's resolution? It's like I want to like be more, focused, more honed in this year. And I don't know, am I being ingenuine? Am I being like hypocritical? I just said that nobody should make any New Year's resolutions, and I am quite literally making a New Year's resolution saying that I'm just going to like smoke. This is the last one, bro. This is the last one, and that's bye-bye. That's bye-bye. No more weed, bro. That's the end. All right. So a lot has happened, and there has been like terrorist attacks in America. Fucking Justin Trudeau just resigned today like a fucking coward. Like, so much has happened. New movies have come out, like the new Squid Game. We are waiting for Superman. Like, so much has happened in just a span of 7 days that it will even be kind of like, my memories, like my memories is not the best. I find it very difficult to remember words, and you people won't know, but sometimes I have to like pause the fucking podcast, the recording, just be able to remember the word that I'm looking for. So I don't have the best memory when it comes to like vocabulary retention or things that have happened in the past that, first of all, I don't really care much about. So that's why I cannot like really like just like recollect on things that have happened so far this year. But they've been interesting nonetheless. They have been interesting nonetheless. I don't know if there's anyone that I can think of now that comes to mind. Nothing of immediate importance anyway, but there's this, like the last episode of Joe Rogan, of the GRE. I don't know why it sounds weird when I say Joe Rogan. Maybe it's because of my accent. So the last episode of Rogan, like GRE, everybody knows what I'm talking about. The guy that was like we are sure that multiverses potentially exist. That's like the most brilliant Zach Galifianakis I've ever seen. Like, that is like the most brilliant, this guy is so eloquent and so articulate and so brilliant and so passionate about the things he was talking about. He talked for about, like, let me say, more than an hour, just without stopping, without without hours, without repeating his words, without mincing words. This man, that is the most articulate person I have ever like seen in my life. And the way he broke down from the beginning, like he just carried me, or as in, I was so invested in that episode. I was so invested in what that man said that I was sold like fucking 100%. If that guy was like I was sold. There no like two ways about it. There was no mincing words. Like he was talking about how plant medication like ibogaine helps with like, is like ibogaine right now is the best medication, quite literally, objectively the best medication right now for depression, for stopping addiction, and for PTSD. It's like the way this man articulated it, the way this man talked about it, the stories that he told about it, the references that he made to it, the scientific findings from it, also the spiritual aspects of it, and the I don't know the right word to use right now. I don't want to like pause it and start like trying to think of the word that I'm supposed to use, but so that I will not lose my flow. But what I'm trying to say is that I don't think I've ever heard anybody say or be more articulate anywhere ever in my life than this man. And at times he comes off as weird, like something that you don't understand, and he's very charismatic to the point where I was beginning to look at him like, oh, this person can easily start a cult right now we're starting with ibogaine, which, first of all, is true that it helps, not even helps, it stops, it dismantles, it destroys your need for addiction. If you're addicted to cigarettes or alcohol or anything, if you undergo ibogaine therapy, it goes, you won't be, as in there have been testimonies after testimonies after testimonies of people that have had the experience, that have had the opportunity to undergo that treatment, that therapy, and the addictions that they had was gone. So that it's objectively true, and it is good that, yeah, this is where this message is starting from. But somebody as eloquent as he is, somebody like him, somebody that's, as in, bro, this guy he's charming. This man's charming. Like the way he talks, his cadence, his mannerisms, everything. It's kind of funny, and like he has this redneck accent, and it was just cool. Basically, it was just everything was just, as in, it was just rad. And you were invested in everything that he was saying. Like he's also, his voice, and it's so capturing. Like you can't, if this guy was like a professor, I don't think I'll fail his course, because every time I would always be attentive to what he's saying, because it's like, it's just, it's one thing to be a teacher, and it's another thing for you to have the like tools for being a teacher. Like, let me give you another example. Take audiobooks now, for example. The narrators of audiobooks, as in, they are certain, as in, it adds to the likability of the book. Like, it adds to how much you end up enjoying the book. It's all in the narrator's voice. Like, for example, let me give you an example. Let me say The Rape of Nanking, for example. The narrator of that book, as in the way she narrated it, her cadence, her voice, she was just good. She's a good voice actress. She's just like the best voice actress I've ever listened to, and it made me like the book. It's one of my favorite books. Well, in favorite, but you understand what I mean. Everybody knows about. If you don't know by now, the rape of Nanking. You just have to go and read it for yourself. So anyways, it's all in the voice, right? It's all in the voice. It's all in how they how they want to be perceived and how they carry themselves. And that's what this man, to me, that's what this man looks like. And it can start well intentionally. That can be a very good beginning place, but it would be fucking catastrophic if it's now like veers into a place where this man becomes like a fucking cult leader, because you have to go and watch the episode for yourself to understand what I'm trying to say. Like, this man is, if this guy is in the room talking to women, bro, everybody will fall for what this man is saying. Everybody will fall for what this man is saying because of how he looks like somebody that can start a cult. I fucking swear to God, he looks like someone, and with the way he's like integrating like the spiritual aspects of the effects of I Begin into the conversation, into the storyline, like talking about how like this is what the creator needs. He's not specifically saying it's the Christian God or the Muslim God or any of the conventional religions. He's just saying it's the creator. He's just saying the creator wants everybody to be loved and wants to love everybody and wants to have, like, he's just, this is like the fucking like MOs of what fucking cult leaders. Like, normally it starts well intentioned. I always say this. Like, for example, now the Jonestown massacre, everybody knows about that one. It started from just this guy Jones trying to help black people. Black people that were segregated at that time, black people that were, still facing violence back then. That was where it started from. He was giving them a voice. He was helping the old woman get her fucking electricity bill and gas bill paid. Like, that was how it started. Well intentioned, and then it's escalated into fighting CIA, fighting military forces in some forest in, I don't know, was it Panama? I cannot remember right now. So, and then 900 people ending up fucking committing suicide, willingly committing suicide for the most part. I mean, some of them were forced, but 900 people committed suicide. Like, mothers gave their babies the Kool-Aid to drink. Like, everybody, 900 people died. So yeah, I don't know, man. And that was just how I felt about that episode. Like, the episode was intriguing. Like, I think that's one of the most interesting Joe Rogan episodes I've ever listened to or watched. And like, everything about it was just cool, but because of the guest. So anyways, I don't know where I was going with this. I just wanted to share my opinion on the episode. I don't think I was going to go. I don't even know why I talked about this. I can't actually think of like anything. Nothing readily comes to mind right now. I don't even know. I just decided that I had to make this episode today because today is the 7th day of the year, and it won't be nice of me to start the year is mediocritically a word. I don't want to start the year, I don't want to start the year on left foot, on a wrong note, actually. So I'm just trying to I'm not going to call this like a New Year's resolution. That's not. You have to understand again, I'm reminding you again that this is not a New Year's resolution. We don't do that here. We don't play that game here. But I'm just trying to, not be perfect, just be better every day. That's getting, I'm beginning to notice that I'm becoming more enamored in my ways, at the same time finding it difficult to change, or should I say, or finding it difficult to accept new information, or to be susceptible, or to be open to new ideas. Or I don't know if I'm just being foolish or strong-headed or I don't know if I'm just if this is what it feels like to continue to get old. It's kind of weird, like, or it's kind of weird understanding and realizing and coming to terms with the fact that you're getting old. It's like I don't know. This will have to be the first time that I'm even talking about it, but you think you'd live forever, then, or you'll be young forever. Like most people, I don't know why people are so vain with themselves that they think they would live forever, that they would think they'll be young forever. It's like when you see all these people, like I'm not, let me first of all make the point that I'm not saying that taking pictures or having like images and memories of yourself is like bad. But, we overdo everything on this planet. We overdo all the bad things, or we just take things to the extreme on this planet And so, I'm sure you understand what I'm talking about when I say people. I'm trying to talk about the whole social media, Instagram cultures. Like, I'm not saying taking pictures is bad, but overdoing it, like everybody just feels like you see people so self-obsessed with themselves. It's like, and then you wonder, and then you're like, do you think, what are you thinking? Like, I don't know if it's just me. When like I look at people online and it's like everybody's so self-absorbed and so like there's this self-imposed importance on themselves, and I don't know, everybody's just feeling like they are the it, and I'm like, why is everybody like, do people not understand that this does not matter? Like, I understand, yes, you should live in the moment, you should appreciate life, you should appreciate, how they say youth is wasted on the young. So yeah, there is nothing wrong with appreciating your youth and like, being a bit what is it, not narcissistic, just self-absorbed. What's the word, what's the term for someone? No, I don't think it's narcissistic. Well, I guess you can say it's narcissistic, yeah, but I feel like everybody is just so self-absorbed with themselves. Like, just chill, stop. I don't know where I was going with this. I just felt like it's one of the things in my head, one of the many things, one of the not so really that important things in my head that I feel like I just need to share or talk about. Or today's episode wasn't really, there wasn't really anything like intentional to want to like air out, or I don't know, right now my brain has just been like, there are things there are important things I actually want to talk about, but there's a way I set them up in my head, and there's usually a mood for them. There's usually like a day I pick out and say, okay, or should I say in the coming week, like before the coming week, I kind of make my mind up and say, okay, I think I have like made, and like I've kind of picked out all the points I want to make as much as I can remember. And yes, it's like kind of like doing a set, like kind of doing like a comedy set on stage. Maybe like you just kind of I don't know, sparring and just kind of like trying to like get your bearings. And then if all my bearings are not like correct or complete, like I don't feel like, for example, I've been thinking of wanting to talk about what it actually means to be human, but I've been thinking of it for about a month now, should I say 2 months. But anytime I'm like, okay, it's time for me to talk about this now, I don't know, there is new information that I eventually come across that kind of makes me want to review the whole thing in my head and like maybe take details away or take things out or take points out, or even actually sometimes add points in or add details in, like, and I don't write anything. I don't write at all. I just like, everything is just all in my head, and I'm usually very hesitant to want to make episodes. Like sometimes I'm a very should I say, what's the word now? as in I procrastinate. I'm like the most avid procrastinator on earth. I think so. So I'm always hesitant to like make videos, but once or should not videos, sorry, make episodes. But once like I don't know, something clicks and I'm like I cannot hold it anymore. And then so like for example, I don't know how all this I guess it's the grind anyway. I guess it's the grind how people are able to be consistently pushing out like content without failure sometimes every 3 times. For example, like Joe Rogan right now. It's like this guy does not miss 3 times a week. Some episodes are 3 hours long. 3 times a week, he does not miss. He's always locked in. It's like the level of consistency. I don't think everybody is meant to have that kind of level of consistency. I don't think it varies. Like it's different in everybody. Like that's what makes us unique. But sometimes I wish like I had that kind of level of consistency, that kind of level of being locked in, that kind of enthusiasm. Do you understand? I mean, I'm very enthusiastic about like this content that I'm creating. I'm very enthusiastic about it because I like it. But I mean, I like it. Do you understand? Like I really like making, I really love like podcasting. I really love it as a form of content creation because I get to like, be myself. I don't even like. The reason why I haven't like started like interviewing people or talking with other people is because I don't even feel comfortable as in having somebody in the room next to me while I am recording. It's like I don't know, I just have this phobia of like being myself when somebody else is there. That's that's a good way to put it. So that's why most of the episodes are done in the park because nobody's usually in the park on Sunday mornings. So and I have a roommate. Yeah, that's the reason why I can't. So anyways, point I'm trying to make is that I love creating content. I love making content. Like if I had the right equipment, I think I'll dedicate my time to making it like my full-time job and stuff like that because it's what I've always wanted to do. But I don't think that I have the same amount of drive, or I don't want to say enthusiasm because I'm very enthusiastic about it, as you can tell. But I don't think I have the same amount of drive. Like for example, people that make like push episodes out every single week without failure, like without failings, like. And it always seems like they become this, like, I don't know if you've seen the TV show Severance. Like in the show, how the characters, like there are characters that are locked in that office and their existence is only in that office. Their existence is just they don't exist anywhere else in the world. They only exist inside that building. And once they leave that building, like it's not them that leaves the building there. Like they don't exist any other place in the world. They don't exist anywhere else in the world. So it begins to feel like, yeah, these episodes that you listen to, because of the fact that they are so chronological, they're so always on time with their deliveries and uploads, and they are always like you come to know them. Like sometimes there are episodes there are podcasts that I listen to, like just the audio, and like I create the image of what the person would look like in, like if I end up like watching their clips on YouTube or something like that. I kind of create the image in my head, but then when I like eventually look them up on YouTube, and the image that I've created in my head does not match the face I'm seeing that is tied to the voice I'm already familiar with, I don't watch like the videos, and I just go back to Spotify. Like I don't, that's not my reality. I end up not watching the videos because I don't. So this is one of the, I don't know, unknown effects of like being an avid follower of somebody, or being an avid follower of a content, is always on. Like there is never a shortage of it. There is never like, there's always content. And it gets to a point where I begin to feel sorry for these people, because regardless of what is happening in their lives, regardless of things that are going on in their lives, they have to, regardless of how they feel on any particular day, regardless of whatever it is that is happening, I feel like they've been so tied to the system, they've been so, as in dependent on it, to the point where if they leave, they are literally going to die. Like if they stop, it's their livelihood. That is basically what I'm trying to say. So when it now becomes your livelihood, when it now becomes your source of income, when it now becomes your source of relevance, you end up selling your soul to it. You end up selling your soul to it, and now you have to, feed this beast to be able to stay alive. It now becomes a beast. It now becomes this, like, trying to use a spoon to drain a sea. I don't know if that is the right way to put it. It's like people are now making content, and then when you now start watching, as in you notice it when their content is without content. There is no content in their content. Do you understand? They're just doing it. Like, for example, there are podcasts that when not even that isn't even, as in podcasts, that the point I want to make is that all these, like, let me say fucking Andrew Schultz, what's the name of his fucking podcast? I cannot remember right now. Let's say his podcast, and which other one now? Your mom's house. There's another podcast, and even Bill Burr's podcast. Let's be honest. Let's be honest, bro. I might not really, be like that much fan of football and stuff like that. That's why I'm not much into it. But let's just use these as an example, as examples, right? There's not much, there's not much to learn from them. Do you understand? They just blab, and they don't really talk. Like, for example, if you listen to Shane Gillis, Matt and Shane's secret podcast, like, those guys, regardless of how much they joke about and how much fun they all actually read. Like, those guys, as in Shane Gillis, he's like an actual history buff. Like, he reads books. Forget that he's always funny and he always talks about. And Matt also, like, Matt is actually like a really actual brilliant guy, and he's one of the people where, everybody knows who Shane Gillis is, so we can recognize him everywhere. So their podcast is one of the podcasts where, like, I created an image of Matt as this, like, young college cool guy, and in my head, like, the way his voice sounds, right? And then when I ended up, like, watching their video on YouTube and seeing that he's like an old guy, I'm like, no, this is not the image I saw in my head. So I don't listen to their podcast on YouTube, just on Spotify. So regardless of how, like, regardless of how they joke about it, there's still usually things that you learn, there's still usually things that you take away from podcast. And unlike Flagrant, I've remembered it right now, what is his fucking name? Andrew Schultz and his Yes Men and all those, like, fucking podcasts that there's no substance in them, there's nothing to learn from them, they're just there to, they're just there as background noise, essentially, when you're doing things that don't require that much precision. I don't know. So that's why I end up not listening to them. Even like prominent podcasts like Star Talk, like, first of all, my spirit does not no longer aligns with Neil deGrasse Tyson. I've talked about him so many times on this podcast. It's just, let's not do that. So anyways, these are podcasts that I feel their only purpose right now, because of how lacking in substance that they are, the only purpose is just for their hosts to feed the beast, to feed the podcast beast. Because there's nothing like, there's nothing really, to me personally, I know they have a lot of fans, and everybody thinks differently, or everybody sees the world differently. But this is just my personal experience anyways. My own opinion, actually. they don't do it, like, they're not, to me, they're just like a waste of time. And coupled with the fact that their hosts are controversial people, either they are pretending or they are lying or they're just, pandering to the highest demographic, or I don't know, it's just odd. I don't like ingenuity. I love things that are actually, like, I'm beginning to, like, as in, I always want to align myself with it, like, according to Jordan Peterson, the highest form of, like, the highest representation of truth, the best representation of truth. So when, like, all this, like, when I come in contact with, like, all these people, and then I listen to their podcasts for a while, and I find out that, I don't know, man, it's not doing anything for me, but so I end up, like, just stopping. But I can also say the same for my own podcast, because, like, essentially nobody listens to mine. Like, there's just probably, I don't know, nobody listens to my podcast. No, but I don't even know. I don't know why, because I don't know if it's because, I mean, I know what I'm saying. It's, like, interesting to the best of my knowledge. I mean, like, my job is to, okay, if it is, let's be objective about this. If it is interesting, people are supposed to come, right? But in this day and age, interesting isn't enough. There's a way you have to, like, be able to market yourself. And that's something that I have zero, as in, like, I don't know how to market myself. Like, I'm not this very, I'm not outspoken. I'm an introvert. Like, I don't know if I have, like, minor agoraphobia. Like, I don't even go, this is how much of an introvert that I am. Like, I don't know how to, like, market myself. I'm not that expressive. Like, I am the polar opposite of my youngest brother. Like, he's a presenter in a radio station, and he's the most outgoing person, like, the most jovial and most fucking, it's like, he knows how to just, attract people and attract attention, and he's very outspoken. Like, when I watch his clips on, like, fucking on Instagram, when I was during his, like, session on the radio show, he does not mince words. Like, he's just very, very articulate. Like, he's just wild, man. It's very interesting to watch, but I cannot do that. Like, he can command crowds. Like, he knows how to, like, command the crowd. Me, I cannot do that. Like, I just don't have that ability to be able to market myself. I don't know. Like, I've tried. I don't even know. The only thing, maybe you can pay people to, like, promote your stuff, but I don't want to, like, force my shit down people's nose. Like, so yeah, that's my predicament. Where was I going with this again? So yeah, if my the podcast is interesting, as I am saying it is, and even though I'm incapable of marketing myself properly, I don't know how you guys do it. I don't know how people do it. But then why are they not coming? Like, why are people not, like, listening to it? Why is the algorithm not picking it up? Like, why is it just usually dormant? Why is it not? I don't know. Is it that I am is it that I am the most unique person in the world that's, like, no one else ever, like, finds what I find? No, let's not do it with it. Is it that I am so interesting that, or I am so not interesting, actually? Is it that I am so unique that there is nobody else that finds what I find interesting? Like, that there's nobody else that shares my interests, or is it that I am so unique, or is it that I am just that boring? Probably later. I am actually probably that boring. So, but how does somebody make themselves, like, I don't want, how, like, in the TV show Atlanta, right? Paperboy. Like, Paperboy doesn't want to, like, conform to what society wants him to be. Paperboy doesn't want to be, like, he just wants to chill. He just wants to be Paperboy, right? That's just me. I don't want to be who I am not. So, yet it is still statistically impossible for there not to be people that appreciate you for being who you are. But then I'm still getting like, I'm still the only person that listens to my podcast. Like, how is that possible? How is that possible? How is it possible that, like, me not wanting to change and conform and, not change actually, like to be who I am not, or should I say to fake it, to put on a show, a mask, like not for, as in me not wanting to like do all the things that people do to get themselves ahead in this social media race and content creation, race. It then comes off as boring. But statistically, there are people that are still able to find that interesting enough. Like mathematically, there still has to be people that, for some strange reason, find what I say and how I say it, and just how boring I sound. Like there still has to be people that find it, interesting, essentially, to want to stay. Mathematically speaking. But what we're seeing is that there are, like, instead of like I usually upload stuff on YouTube. So instead of me to like be getting more subscribers, I'm actually losing subscribers. So it's like, how boring can somebody be? How as in, I don't think there's anybody. I don't think anybody else can get more boring than I am. So that's probably why it is. But it's all good, man. Maybe that mathematical statistic somehow like comes to help and shows itself, because it's kind of weird. But then again, it might just be that I'm probably not putting in as much effort as I'm supposed to. That's actually what it might be. Or I don't know. Yes, there's no or. That's just it, man. There's no or. That is just probably what it is. So, but then, and okay, yeah, let's create an or as in just give it time. Like I know eventually it's in Spanish. I mean, look at there's this there's this musician right now that is kind of like popping off. What is her name? Deutsche. He's somebody that used to work in Chipotle. She's just like every other regular person, and she has done songs in the past that's actually trended, but didn't really go far, like kind of like died off. And she just been like documenting her process on YouTube and like following and just being consistent and improving and like making changes and stuff like that. And now look at where she is now. She has eventually blown. She has blown up now. Everybody's like talking about her now. And she's kind of like, another thing again is that, well, I mean, I'm talking of mainstream now. You know how like everybody's so hypersexualized. She doesn't, I might be wrong. I mean, I've seen videos of her performing on stage where she was like scantily clad, but I don't think that's like, I feel like that's not her, like, that's not what she's trying to do. I feel like she's not even interested in, like, you know how all these female fucking hip hop artists or musicians, I don't know what they call themselves these days, a musician. All of them, they don't, there's nothing. From Nicki Minaj to, I don't know, the last of them, fucking, what is that name? I don't know, Sexy Red or something. All of them, they're not good. There is no female musical artist today that is good. No, none. Nicki Minaj is not good. Cardi B is not good. Fucking none of them are good. They just use their hypersexuality to prop themselves up, and it doesn't do, like, once the initial excitement of the hypersexuality eventually and inevitably dies off, like there is nothing there again. Like the new ones that even come up, you don't even find, you already know that what they're going to be saying is nonsense, so you don't even pay attention to them. But now Deutsche has come along, and it's like, I feel like there's something because of her experience, like because of how far she has come, I feel like there's something that she has that she wants to say or that she wants to show. And well, let's see how it goes. Kendrick Lamar signed her. I think so. If he is conscious enough to see that she has that potential, then let's see how it goes. Let's follow her up. And I want to remind everybody again that Kendrick Lamar is proof that you don't have to like be you don't have to like make bad content. You don't have to like make bad music to be influential, to be rich, to be, to be the best rapper, actually. Because it's actually the best rapper. Now, you cannot, if people are saying, even though, what is his name? J. Cole said that he's now free because, like, he's not supporting anybody. He's free to, and even if people are saying that he's no longer the best rapper, that he's fine with it and he's free to be himself now. And I understand what he's trying to say, but the reality of things is that, I mean, I love J. Cole, like I love J. Cole to the moon and back, but the reality of things is that right now, Kendrick Lamar is just like the best. Do you understand? Even better than Eminem, in my opinion. Like better than Eminem. Yes, I said it. He's proof that you can do it right and still be the best. Do you understand? You can preach positivity. You can be poetic, you can be artistic, you can be psychedelic, you can be, like you can be creative. Like there's so many things I can do. You can even be religious. Who cares? As long as you're spitting bars. Do you understand? Like you can be a good MC, you can be a good artist. You can also be like somebody that people look up to. You can be an idol. You can be somebody that people respect. Not for the wrong reasons, actually. But people genuinely respect because what you're giving to the world, what you're bringing to the world is actually beneficial to everybody in a positive way. So Kendrick Lamar is proof that can happen. And all these other artists over the years that did it, that followed like that quote unquote sold their souls. And are always like doing it, I don't know, hedonistically. They just did it because they wanted to do it. That is what I've come to understand. All these fucking artists that end up killing themselves and being depressed and stuff like that. You could have, the option of doing it the right way was always on the table. Nobody said you couldn't do it. Like, even if you quote unquote sold your soul to the devil, like the devil did not tell you that, the devil didn't say you have to do this. Even if the devil was going to force you, you still had the opportunity, you still had the chance to say no. But all of them ended up like saying yes to it and always making like bad music and things that just don't enrich the soul. So yeah, I don't know who I was talking to, but I think I was talking to myself. I think you have to be better. That is just it, man. You have to be better. You have to try harder. You have to like put in more work. You have to enhance yourself in the positive way. You don't have to like fake it. Just make yourself better. Just make better content. That's all I'm trying to say. All right. Yeah. So that is the much I can talk about today. If you found this interesting, make sure you leave a like and leave your comments below. Let me know what you think about it. If you're listening on Spotify, just like rate the episode, but you can also listen on YouTube, preferably actually. So just leave a like and comment and subscribe if you want to see more, want to hear more. Actually, I don't know when. I don't even know if I'll ever want to like. I make reaction content also, so I'm sure you guys have seen my face, but I feel like this podcasting, everybody wants to like show themselves. Everybody wants to like have a studio. Everybody wants to make it official. But podcasting is supposed to be about you just like two people having a conversation. Do you understand? It can be a casual conversation. It can be an educational conversation. It can be political, or it can be one person just like airing their thoughts out or telling a story or giving you information or actually even like summarizing a book, but it's supposed to be intimate. It's supposed to be it's supposed to be natural. Right now, podcasting now is like, I don't know, everybody has their own different kind of setting. It's like, even studio, like, bro, everything is kind of for anything that money touches, man. Money truly is the love of money truly is the root of all evil. So everything that money touches just seems to get soiled. Everybody, it's like, come on, man, what the fuck are you doing? So, anyways, if you found this, the point I was trying to make is I don't know if ever I'm going to like make the podcast, like if I'm going to make a video version of it. I don't know how. Never say never. Let's see what the future holds for us. So yeah, thank you for chilling with me. Thank you for giving me your listening ears. Follow me on Twitter and like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys later. All right, bye everybody.